when you played Jafar's son, did you have to watch Aladdin like multiple times to get the role going? Or?
You know, I actually did. Yeah, I watched all of them. There's like offshoot ones too.
Right. Direct to video.
Yeah, the one like 2, 3, like random. Like, I did. I would say it didn't really help me figuring out what the character. I mean, it just gave me more backstory to piece out like when I would have been born and how this whole thing happened. You know, in my head, just trying to build the world, I guess. But yeah, I did watch it.
Hello.
Hi.
What is your name?
Bethany.
Hi, Bethany. What's your question?
It's more a question for advice. I would like to be in the movie industry, whether it's a makeup artist, a hairstylist, or actually an actress. I was wondering, where do you think I should start from there?
Are you asking him, who does not know you, which path to take into the industry?
No.
I totally misunderstood your question, I guess.
Advice, like, how do you get, how do
feeling?
like,
No.
you're totally mixing me up now. You're mixing me now.
you know how I feel about it, yes. So, say your question again, because
I would like to be in the movie industry.
Yeah.
I'd like advice for like, how do you think I should start? Like, where do you think I should start for how to get about to it?
That's a better question than what I heard.
I would say just find the community. Obviously, Atlanta. Have you heard of the land Atlanta? Atlanta. There's a lot there, of course. But I would, honestly, I just like finding the community. So if acting is what you're feeling, maybe, or I would just do it all. If acting is what you're feeling, I would go join an acting class. You know, so you can be around actors. If makeup's what you want to do, join a makeup class, be around people who want to be makeup artists. That way you can see how they're taking the steps, and you can learn from the people around you. I think that's the best way.
See, I plan on doing cosmetology for college, and I'm also thinking of doing extra class to acting. That was the way I was feeling.
Yeah, I think that's the way.
Yeah, if you can do multiple like that, don't pigeonhole yourself down one path. You don't know what opportunities are out there. Take it, do it all.
Because that's just my dream job, is to be in the movie industry.
Take
something my grandmother always told me, you're such a diva, that's where you belong. And I'm like,
well, that's not necessarily a great reason.
But go for it. Yeah, go for it.
I think my grandmother would be very proud of me, to say, for doing my dream, because she passed away when I was 19, when I was 2021. How I saw it was, she was my best friend, so it was kind of hard. I still am dealing with the grief of it. But I would like to make her proud, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just small steps, you know.
Thank you.
Great question. Much better than the question I had. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Angel.
Hi, Angel. What's your question?
I was just wondering, out of all the pieces that you've done so far, which is your favorite to make and the favorite to see?
Do you watch your stuff back usually?
Well, yeah, it's hard to say. Because, I mean, when you're at like a screening or premiere, right, you have to watch it. Sometimes.
Or you're at the bar.
Yeah, I honestly used to hate seeing anything. But I've learned to make it like a healthy thing, to where I can watch it and learn from it and grow from what I'm seeing. Because you don't always like it. I would say more times than not, you do not like what you're seeing. Because it's you and it's your voice and you're like, I don't sound like that. And like, why did I make that face? Like, but what are you doing? You know. So it's kind of hard to watch it, but I would say now I'm pretty good at it and I can learn from what I've done. My favorite to make, I mean, there's a few. Almost the same movie could be for both. It's a movie called The Grizzlies. It's on Netflix right now. It's a true story, and it takes place in the Arctic. And it's just one of my favorite things about filming is one of my favorite things about movies is the process of making a movie. And when you get to be transported to like a completely different world, we're in the Arctic, I looked out, the first day I got there, we flew in on a plane, half the plane had a wall in it. I was like, why is there a wall in this plane, like in the center? It's like, oh, that's the groceries. So like we flew up with the groceries for the town, and the first day I got in there was like a whiteout. Like we got stuck on the road. We couldn't even go to my apartment where I was gonna stay for the month, and you're just people are driving around on ski-doos with sleds and, you know, guns on their back to go hunt, you know, because everything's so expensive because they have to ship everything in. So it was just a crazy experience being up there. And then the movie itself ended up being one of my favorite things I've ever done. I think the story and the message is beautiful, and I'm just happy to be a part of like telling that side of the world story. Yeah.
Good question.
Thank you.
Hello, what is your name?
It is Justine. I'm about to take us way off track. I
Go
heard
for
you
it.
earlier say that you had a show just recently with art and stuff, and of course, being the artist that I am, I want to know about what inspires you to do the art that you do, and what kind of art that you do, and what made you get back into doing art?
Yeah, so the type of art that I do, I guess it would be expressionism. I guess that would be technically what it's called. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I use ballpoint pen, .7 ballpoint pen. And it's this very like scratchy style with layers and layers and like hundreds of layers of lines that kind of build figures out. And it's all done with ballpoint pen. Sometimes I'll fill entire backgrounds with all black and just throw one pen. And I don't know why I like that. To me, that's just, I can get the emotion from the mind out the quickest with that medium. And it's the one thing that I do where it's just me. There's no other people chiming in and telling me what to do, this, that. It's just from here to there, boom. That's why I love art so much, or the style of art that I do. What was the other part of your question?
What brought you back into it?
Oh, what brought me back into it? For a while I was painting, and then I had a studio in downtown LA, which wasn't that close to my house, and I was filming on this TV show at the time, so I wasn't able to make it to my studio as much. And so I eventually just did away with the studio, and I started drawing at home, or painting at home. And then that turned into drawing, because I really want to paint at home. And I don't know, for me, this scratchy style is something I've always done, like even when I was like 10 years old in school drawing. And I just was drawing and was like, I should just draw the way that I draw naturally, and not try to draw like anyone else. And that's how I started drawing like this. Yeah.
Great question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Zach.
Hey, Zach.
All right, I'd imagine working in the industry that you work in, you have collected quite a number of stories. What would you
I
say?
thought he was going with, how much have you stolen from the set? I'm coming up with all my own questions based on what you guys are saying. I got this own thing going on up here. I'm in a totally different panel. Go ahead, Buzz.
Out of everything you've played in, what would you say was the funniest mishap or blooper that you've had on set?
Mishap or blooper? Oh gosh. Sorry, someone's calling me. It's probably a telemarketer. My butt's vibrating. Let's see. Funniest mishap or blooper? What is it? When? Oh, that was a good one. That reminds me of the other time there was another fire. There was a fire on Descendants 3.
Oh.
Yeah. I was filming, I was doing the intro to Good to Be Bad, when it's my section. And when I like slide down the roof and roll flipping and stuff like that, we had to shut the entire set down because we were filming on a sawdust factory.
Oh, yeah.
And it caught on fire. Yeah. And there was everyone was just, we're at the top, literally on the roof. Yeah, that just is coming to mind right now. I can't think of any other like bloopers that I had. I've definitely done a lot of mistakes, but that comes to mind.
Nothing goofy, nothing funny.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, I mean that's not goofy though. That's another like disaster story. There's a tsunami.
Well, it's easy for Dad to be like, oh yeah, those disasters are great.
There wasn't. It ended up being not a tsunami at all, but there was a tsunami warning, and we're filming on an island in Vancouver. It was for Twilight, and on the beach. It was like the worst place to be. They evacuated the entire thing. They had to evacuate everyone to their trailers. So like, get to high ground.
The water's receding. This is not good.
But yeah, I can't think of anything like goofy or funny. I wish I could, but it's just a bunch of disasters.
Fires,
multiple
tsunamis,
fires.
earthquakes.
During X-Men, there was also a fire in the hotel room. It's crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Tell us that story. No.
Yeah, this one time we were filming we were filming all night. We got back to the hotel like 4 a.m. I fall asleep, and then at like 5 a.m. the alarm's going off, the fire alarm, and the week before the alarm had gone off, and it was just a drill. And so I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I just got home, we filming all night, I'm so tired. 1 hour into the sleep, the alarm's blasting. And my dad was with me, and he was in the front part of the hotel room, and I was in my room. And my dad's like, get dressed, get your things, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, ah. And then I hear banging, like, in the hallway. And I'm like, what's going on up there? And I remember opening the door, and it's black, just smoke. And I remember shutting the door, and you're like, Dad, we're gonna go! It's like, we need to leave now. Let's go. And I remember just putting my shirt like this over my face and touching and just being able to feel the wall because you couldn't open your eyes. It was so smoky. The fire was like 1 or 2 rooms down from my room. They evacuated the entire hotel. It was people were in the robes. Some people came out naked. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. The whole cast got evacuated. Like, and a bunch of other people. Like, Patrick Stewart was there, and someone like came up to ask for a photo, and he's so famous. Like, he was trying to hide, and he was like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't. If I do one, it's gonna turn into. It was, wow. It's Patrick Stewart. But those are 3 disaster stories for you.
Thank you. Hey, what's your name?
My name's Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Mr. Stewart, I got a question. As great as an actor as you are, let's take something different from what you're used to. What if you had the opportunity to create your own video game? And if that's so, how would you want it to turn out?
Whoa. It's a pretty good question. Wow. It would be like a video game based on magic.
Like, it's just whatever, you're in charge, it's your game,
Oh, yeah.
you decide what you wanted to do with it.
It would be like everyone's a magician in the game, and you have to like learn magic tricks to like complete levels and beat other magicians, but it's like Sims. So, but you're a magician, so everything in the world is like magic based, but not like Harry Potter, like card magic and coin magic.
So like stage magic.
Stage magic.
Close-up magic.
Yeah,
stuff like that,
close-up magic. But it's Sims, so you could build your own life. That would be my game. I love magic. I used to take magic classes.
So who would you want it to be sponsored by? Sony, Microsoft, or?
I would say the city of Las Vegas.
You want it on the big giant dome out there?
Oh, yeah.
Just play constantly?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And it takes place in Las Vegas also. It's a great city.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you. Hi, come on up, bud. Hey, let me help you. Yes. You can use my microphone. What's your name?
Javen,
And what's your question, bud?
was Carlos your friend?
Wow.
Yes, definitely. He was.
That's all he needed. The kid knows how to bail out, doesn't he?
We gotta learn from him. Leave when you.
That's right. Leave them wanting more. Was there more to their question? No, I'm good. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Georgia.
Hi, Georgia. We're
so-
in Georgia here too. It's crazy.
So what was your favorite costuming experience
Ooh.
on any of your movies?
Ooh, I actually love the costume experience of movies. For me, you spend so much time beforehand by yourself, and I like to take notebooks, and I write about the character's life up until the point where we meet them, like in the movie. And then I will keep writing usually throughout. But there's that happens, all the research you're doing, and then once you step up into the fitting room and you start trying on the clothes, And if it feels right, you know automatically, and you can really you're like, ooh, yes, this feels good. A favorite process of clothing. It's hard to say. I mean, I could, on Good Trouble, this TV show I was doing, that was actually an interesting, that was a fun one, because when my character first started out, he was homeless. And then we got to figure out what his style was going to be like once he moved into the coterie where the whole cast lives. And it was really cool because we were pooling clothes as if the people who lived in the same loft with me they were like giving me their old clothes. So I got to wear clothes that had been in the show before. And just doing the whole makeup process of being homeless. And it was really fun. I actually have one of the shirts. When the show ended, I took the shirt. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, come on up. What's your name?
Hey, my name's Daryl.
Hey, Daryl.
And our question was, so you've been in a lot of movies and worked with a lot of famous people, and you also said that you make music. So is there like anyone you want to collab with music-wise, or like in the film industry, any celebrities you like really want to work with?
So many. It's an endless list for sure. I'd say there's a director named Terry Gilliam. He's one of my top favorites. He's done Brazil, 12 Monkeys, and I just think he's the man. And then for music, again, it's a forever list. I feel like a band that would be really fun to make music with. I have some mutual friends with them. The Wallows. I think that would fit well with us. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many. I could go on and on. But yeah, I think those people would be really fun to work with.
Good question. Hi. What is your name?
Hey, I'm Christy, and my question is, between movies, TVs, if a franchise were to call you and say, come now, which would be your dream franchise?
This is horrible because I'm way too late to the game and I just finished watching it and it's done. It's been done for years. But Game of Thrones was so good. And I was so late to the game. But I would say Game of Thrones, or, I mean, the new Lord of the Rings TV show, that would be fun to be on also. I think I really enjoyed that show, and just to be a part of the world of Lord of the Rings.
What would you cast him in if you had that pull? What franchise would you throw him in? Because you just said now, so like you're on the spot. You got to get this guy cast.
So, I guess right now I'm watching All American, and so just seeing you in like a college football
That'd be fun.
scenario game.
I just shaved my head, young Vin Diesel. Fast and the Furious.
A little slower, but still furious. Great questions. Do you guys we got like time for maybe one or two more questions? Anybody else have one you want to grab? Yeah, come on up.
So what made you cut your hair? Was it because of the show? I'm sorry.
I'm surprised I hadn't got it.
Because my hair was long.
Okay.
I just recently cut it. It was 16 inches, like down on my butt, and I donated it to the Wigs for Kids.
Oh yes, someone just gave me their information actually.
It's super
I still
safe.
have my hair.
You do?
Yeah.
It has to be at least 14 inches or more.
Okay.
Was it? Do you know?
I don't know that yours was 14.
I don't know. I try to get it as close as possible. I don't know by the time they cut it. I hope so. I still have it, so I'll measure it. I'll have to add some on to there.
What was your reasoning though that you had to cut it? You wanted to cut it?
You know, I just wanted to cut it. It's really just that. I had been talking about it for a long time, but I kept getting parts and like had obligations where I couldn't just cut it. And you know, it was good trouble. And then once that ended, I was like, okay,
You're free.
I'm just gonna do it. And I did it. And yeah, I mean, I love having long hair. It's fantastic. It's great. It feels awesome. It gave me like such an identity. But I feel like so much of my identity was wrapped up in it that I just wanted to do something different.
I love it.
It's freeing, right? You don't have to.
Yeah,
it's just
literally
like going
out the door.
Yep. Hi, you get to be our last question.
I have to ask, because a lot of my friends have been wondering since the end of Twilight, would you be happy if it came upon one like a TV series with just the wolf pack? Because we want to see more of the wolf pack.
Right.
Instead of Jacob, I love him, but I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, the wolf bag is pretty cool. I don't know. I can't say yes or no because it would just depend on like the material of what they're
Like
presenting.
their future.
Yeah, like
Maybe
what?
Seth and Leah get an imprint?
Whoa, they're brother and sister.
No, I mean like,
Oh.
maybe they get, like
Look,
maybe,
I know we're in Georgia,
no.
but oh, it's across the river. You do that, okay? That makes it
Stops
so
on
much
this
better.
side of the river, okay?
It's so much better across the river.
No, like
I have met some people from Alabama that sorry.
no, like Seth is so young, like maybe him and Leah's future, because like people are always talking bad about her and Sam, like maybe she reached that one.
I don't know. I don't feel like I can comment on this. But I would be definitely, you know, it would be really fun to get the gang back together for sure. That just sounds fun. But it just depends on, you know, what's in the writing and what they want to present, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Great questions. You guys have fantastic questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you guys had fun this last hour? Yeah?
Thank you.
Right on.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I want to remind you guys once again, if we did not get to your question, if you think of something that while you're out and about, stop by.